Hello, my friends, I'm Rich Larsen, and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today, we made it. This is episode 10 of our 10-part progression series with Marc and myself. Man, I'm pumped how good it's gone. This is designed for you guys to follow along with weekly and guaranteed to improve your skills by episode 10. I hope that you guys have been following along. I hope that your skills have progressed. I know for a fact Marc has progressed a lot, especially from that last episode. Man, you nailed it last week. That was killer. Now, we are on to the final episode. The final episode is going to be about the double blip. Now, everybody wants to learn the double blip. How do you feel about the double blip, Marc?
No, I don't. I have zero desire, by the way. Just quote that, please. I have zero desire to learn.
Yeah, Marc has zero desire to learn because we've literally filmed 10 episodes today, and we've been doing this for 7 hours straight, although these are coming out weekly. This has been a very long day.
No, it's not about that. No, I have literally have zero desire.
I don't believe you. So everybody wants to learn the double blip, and
he has issue. Like, you see that? That's issue.
Nah, you want to learn it. So what the double blip is 2 blips of the clutch and throttle. 2, first, initiate lift into the obstacle. Second blip to drive over the obstacle. Now, there's a lot that happens in a double blip. I always say it's not just 2 blips to get over an obstacle. It's actually 10 steps in the first step. And that's the truth. There is so much that has to happen correctly for you to be able to double blip. So I'm going to show you a couple double blips first. Then we're going to talk about the best way for every single one of you guys to approach learning a double blip. So we got a nice little rock here. And I'm going to hit it a few times. Now, I know you're tired too, Romer, but excuse me, my buddy. Thank you. Now, we got to talk, of course, the blips, okay? 2 blips of the clutch and throttle. First blip to get the front tire in the air. Second blip to propel me over, okay? I'll call them out as they go. Here we go. First blip, 1, 2. Let's do it one more time just so you can hear. 1, and then a big load into the obstacle. 1, 2. You can see there, hardly any throttle over the top. We're very mellow over the top of the obstacle. We also have to talk about body position, right? So we throw our weight back to get that front tire into the air. 1, just like that. That's what we're looking for to get that front tire back. So notice when I do that, I throw my hips back, but I initiate that first with the front brake. I use compression with my front suspension to get my front tire into the air, okay? So that's saving me energy, making me much more efficient. So I'm gonna drive my weight forward, holding in that front brake all at the same time, and then we slip the clutch and throttle with the rebound of the suspension. There's a lot going on here, right? So here we go, drive weight forward, boom, back. Now, you can see there, that drive forward to initiate suspension compression and rebound. Then we drive our way back. So you notice here, when I hit this rock, my body goes back, forward, back. Back to get the front tire into the air, forward to counteract the front tire as we go over the obstacle, and back again to hold traction. Here we go. Back, forward, back. Just like that. About 20 steps in the simple double blip, right? Most guys are like, yeah, it's a couple blips. Throttle, you throw give it a little gas. 1, 2, should be good. Turns out there's a lot, right? I don't want you to worry about that. We're not even gonna hit this obstacle. And this is how every single rider should train. Everybody wants to go, and usually what they do is they go, yeah, I wanna learn how to double blip. And they don't do it that good. I mean, that honestly looked cool, but they ride over and they go, well, I made it over. I got it figured, and then they move on. A proper double blip has all of those steps. And the best way to learn a double blip is learn the first step. And that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna learn the first step. You're not even gonna focus on an obstacle.
So single blip.
We're literally doing a single blip. We need to be able to do it on flat ground. And you're gonna find that's extremely hard. So your goal today is to be able to do a single blip, okay? And I'm serious, if you wanna learn a double blip, don't go out and bash an obstacle. I can explain how to do it, and there's a lot of steps that go into it, but I'm saying break it down into little increments, just like we did with the cone drills in the previous episode. We kind of broke it down, then you were able to get it, right? So I'm gonna show you what the goal is, what we're looking for today. It is a single blip, you are correct. On that machine, we're on flat ground, little uphill helps, nice and slow. I drive my weight forward, look at where my knees go. That's the first step, right there. Notice my knees go directly to the radiator. Boom, okay? Now, we don't have to go backwards, but that's our first step. We want to initiate that suspension compression and rebound. Boom, just like that. This is a great practice for going backwards too. Nice and smooth. Boom, nice and centered. You can see, when you're good at balance, you can go backwards for quite a ways. Nice and smooth, centered. Notice my knees, bam. Now notice, all of it happens at the same time. I'm centered, I'm dragging front brake, I'm dragging a little clutch. As soon as I drive my weight forward, boom. Clutch comes in, front brake comes in, and I actually load a little bit of throttle to initiate that lift, but that's the second step. So the first thing I want you to do is that. Hey, that's not too bad. Mark, start with your weight a little more back. That's not bad at all. Hey, Mark, you're right here. We're taking out. We need to be back a little more. Hinged, hips back. That way we have the ability to drive forward, okay? That's better. Oh, that is pretty. Yeah. I gotta say, that was solid.
Really? Okay.
Very good.
I'm happy.
Very good. There's a lot of coordination there. Now, again, this is because we've kind of drilled you all day long. You look so much more flowing on the bike, man. I love seeing that. Great body position, hips back. You saw with the hips back, we can initiate forward a little more, okay? So focus on that. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drive forward and we're gonna get a little snap, okay? Now, this is where it starts to get a little more one of those situations, right?
What's that?
It's coordination. I don't know, that's kind of funny. It's not a thing in Japan.
I'm a Japanese, I'm sorry.
Sorry. So, you know, they're like, oh, it's hard to rub your belly and pat your head at the same time, right? It takes coordination.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
Now I understand. Thank you very much for explaining to me.
We are gonna add in the lift, okay? So your compression was great, which is awesome. Now, you're gonna start to snap those hips back, okay? Now I want you to notice something very important. Your movement is great. The next thing you're gonna do is when you snap those hips back, we're gonna lock our knees out. Notice how my knees come back. That allows that pressure to go to the rear tire and initiates more traction and an easier form of lift. So once again, our hips are back, the drive comes forward, and we move back. But we're gonna add, with that rebound, the snap back at the same time, okay? So watch my snap. I go forward. See my body? You can see there, I'm barely giving it any throttle too, and the front's coming up, right? Watch again. We go forward. Now, everything needs to be in time, okay? So we drive our weight forward, we initiate that compression. As we get that rebound, we're snapping our hips back, we're locking our knees down, almost straightening our knees. As you're compressing, you should be increasing throttle. You're decreasing throttle and dropping, yes. See, this is the common thing. You're decreasing the throttle as you drop the clutch. You should have the throttle completely off as that front tire goes into the air. Because what if we have the throttle on and you drop the clutch?
Wheelie.
Yeah, and you snap your hips back. We get a big wheelie. So if you notice here, I come, so watch what's happening. I'm gonna do everything with my hands, okay? Clutch finger, pointer finger, body. We come forward, throttle's on, clutch is in, front brake is in, back. See that? There's a lot that's happening here.
So you mean, huh? So
yeah,
dumping the clutch will have enough power to lift the front.
absolutely. So this is loading the flywheel. Okay, I'm gonna show you here. If I go full throttle, let the throttle off, I'm using dispersing power. That dispersing power goes to the rear tire, right? So notice. See how I still moved? Right? This is why I never whiskey throttle. Because I'm not giving it gas and dropping the clutch, unless I'm doing some kind of crazy hill climb or something, right? Most of the time, I am letting off the clutch and using a dispersing power that's stored within the piston, flywheel, clutch, anything that's spinning, anything that's moving, that energy has to go somewhere. Transmission itself, that energy has to go somewhere. It goes to the rear tire when you drop the clutch. So therefore, you let off. Okay, I'm gonna do it a few times next to you so you can see my hands. I'm gonna do it right here, right next to you so you can see what my clutch is doing. I also like to pull the clutch back in when the front tire is in the air. That makes me even safer.
So that the
Exactly,
drops, okay.
exactly. Right next to you, watch what happens. Watch my clutch finger. Yeah. See that? That's what we're looking for. One more time, I'll show you. Right next to you. Centered. Weight comes back with the rebound, throttle comes off, clutch comes out, front brake comes off. That is the first step to a double blip. Most people don't realize there is 15 steps in the first step, right? We haven't even started hitting an obstacle. This is why it's so important to learn the first step. You should be able to do it. The goal is for you to be able to do it exactly like this. That was great. That was really good. Good job. That was great. Great job for the first time. Now, this is the old saying, two to be true. It's very hard to do it twice. A lot of times you'll do it one time and you're like, what just happened?
That's right now, yeah.
Second time's always harder because then you're gonna start thinking about how to do it. Dude, that is really good.
Yeah!
Wow. That's great, dude. Why do you think you can do that?
Still working on it,
Yeah.
but I'm doing it without thinking.
Yeah. That's a big thing, man.
It's hard to describe.
No, I know what you mean.
Clutch, throttle, weight, but, well, you know, the millions things that you put in my brain. I'm trying to digest that, right?
Yeah.
I'm still in process, but I think my brain and body is kind of understanding. It's not like completely linked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was doing that without thinking,
Very
like, quite
nice.
honestly.
It's very good. You're actually doing it so well that I'm going to make you hit an obstacle. Sorry, shouldn't have done it so good there, Champo. So, I want you to practice that a few more times, and then we're gonna move up and hit a safer obstacle. I'm not gonna make him do the big rock here. In fact, I think you could do it, but it's a little rutted and stuff, so we'll find you a good, safe obstacle. You're gonna be able to do it.
But you said today's goal is single blip.
And that was, you nailed it. And I'm like, wow, you
let's
got
head
it.
back, man.
You shouldn't have done it so fast. You know what I'm saying? I always, like, what did I say about circle of comfort? We have this circle of comfort and I just want to be just outside of it. Well, man, that wasn't quite far enough outside of that circle. We got to push you just a little harder. And I think it'll be worth it in the end because you're going to ride over a little ledge. All right, so we're almost out of battery with our cameras. We're on the last episode. We're trying to get through this. And you know what? Marc's doing it so well. I didn't want to walk all the way over to the safer ledge. I'm going to make him do it on this. I know you can do it.
I know you're a liar.
I might be, but see that stick? That's where I want your lift at. We don't need a lot of throttle. It's very gentle. I want you to focus on a nice smooth momentum, and I want you to lift your front tire just like you're doing there, right here. Steady throttle, ride straight through it, okay? Lift your throttle, aim your front tire right here. You are gonna surprise yourself. I really believe that. Bring the confidence, bring the body position. We start with our hips back, little drive forward, snap. Let that bike ride right over. We don't need a lot of throttle, okay? Smooth, smooth, not too fast. Centered, nice and smooth, Mark. Perfect. That was actually pretty good.
That was scary.
You did a good job. Okay, so.
That was scary. Oh, yeah.
Let's do it one more time.
Yep.
You were pretty dialed coming in. Little extra, focus on getting that lift. Focus on the lift. As long as it's a nice smooth lift. Yep, clutch out in. Okay? And then centered, controlled. There it is. That's pretty good, dude.
Ah, terrifying. Well, I got my bike up, I guess.
All right, now, that's a little big. This is an exact example of what is the problem with most approaches. We end up trying to learn the first skill, and we try to jump a little bit too far. And that right there is a big thing that guys ends up getting deterred from riding, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna try it over on this little rock right here, something that you can actually make it over, and I think we're gonna get dialed in, okay? Let's do it. All right, so now that Mark has gotten that initial lift, we focused on just trying to get that front end into the air. We're gonna add a little bit of an obstacle because he did it so good. So this is what I want you to do. This is a very mellow obstacle. This is a great way to train. Find something small that you're comfortable with and go for it. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna draw a little line here, Mark. See that? That line is where I want you lifting your front tire. Very gentle, very smooth. I want you to drop the clutch, and I don't want you to bring it all the way back in. I want you to just kind of drag and steady throttle, let that bike pull you through, okay? You got this one all day, but all I want to see, all I'm focused on is that initial lift, okay? Oh, that was it! One more. That was beautiful. He did it, that was awesome. Nice and smooth. Hey, all right. Dude, nice job.
Decent.
That was great. Okay. And the truth is as I said, this is a progression. We have to focus on the right things. Maybe we moved a little fast at the beginning to throw you right at an obstacle, but the truth is you move fast in getting that front end into the air. Focus on getting that front end. Practice that on flat ground, and every single one of you guys should also practice it on flat ground. That's what we're focused on here. We want to be able to break these things down into very simple increments. We can't be throwing ourselves at huge ledges, huge boulders, huge logs, huge rocks, okay? We've got to take it a little bit at a time and even take it even slower than starting on that. Start with just that lift. Dude, you did awesome. That's 10. We've just done 10 episodes.
Do you approve that I progressed?
Oh, I mean, I think everyone that's watching, first off, will absolutely see your progress. Okay. And more than anything, dude, I've seen huge progress. The confidence and the control that you have from the beginning to now is unreal, man. So
now then I can confidently say one thing.
Yes.
Thank you, Climb, Lucas.
Oh, okay, yeah, right on.
During this 7 hour, I'm sweating inside, but look, I'm so dry here. Thank you so much for this. I didn't deserve it when I got it, but now I think I deserve it.
I think 10 episodes will get Climb. They're going to be plenty happy to see you in that gear.
If you're an off-road rider, it has a pocket here. Everybody go get one.
Dude, straight up product plug. Like, I thought he was gonna be like, Rich, thank you so much for helping me get better at riding. He was like, hey, Climb, got a shout out to my sponsors.
Yeah, first and probably the last sponsor I'm gonna get. Of course, Climb, thank you again.
Right on, man. Okay, well, that was wild. Cool, very cool, very cool. Until next time, keep shredding.